Hi, Kate Garrison, Enneagram coach. We are back at the series Unlocked, where we talk to professional women, see how they got out of a stressful situation in their work using the Enneagram. So we're going to see what that looks like for Karen Turnquest, a type 3, and a very good friend. She came from the corporate world and now is in the nonprofit world. So I was really curious about asking her about a stressful situation that kept her really frustrated, and then when she was able to get free from that. So Karen, so good to see you. She also happens to be my best friend and is stationed in Atlanta, Georgia. So this is how a lot of our conversations are, through video.
Well, always glad to see you, Kate, and I miss you.
So I wondered if you could just kind of set up the situation for us, and where some problems developed.
So, just recently, I'm involved with a nonprofit that is applying for like a super duper big grant. And the CEO asked me, he said, well, I'm not that great with the words. Can you look over the words and help, make this sensible? And as I started looking over everything, oh my gosh, I was so frustrated. First we go through the just the regular editing, like grammar and stuff, and then I just realized that so many parts of the picture just weren't there, right? The picture that shows that like we're experts in this space and we know how to transfer information. We got the infrastructure in place. So I kind of just I said, okay, Karen, I set out like this list of questions for him, right? It's like, oh my gosh, what do we have to ask about people? And what do we have to ask about process and technology and impact and lessons learned? And like through that whole process, we got a fantastic story together that a really experienced grant writer was able to take and make a beautiful application out of that. And then the CEO said, "Oh my gosh, Karen, all this stuff was in my head, and you got this stuff out from my head, and I didn't even realize we were doing all this stuff." And he said, "I think that's why God put us together." So, but that helped me because I felt like I had this plan, this way to approach it. And he felt really great because the story got to be really complete.
Obviously, it sounded like you were going to your type 6, which is the place of health where you are curious. You become the investigator. Let's get these interview questions up, right? You just got past your feelings about it. You didn't say he's getting in my way, right? You just went, okay, let's just approach this from a curiosity point. And the 6s are so objective like that. So it was probably, it helped your stress level. But tell me when the most stressed, it sounded like the stressed was when you were really aware of these personality differences.
So that goes back even before the grant.
Okay, yeah.
So yes, I think many of the things that we are working on, I tend to like things a little bit more structured so I can figure out what the best solution is. Yeah. And he's like this big picture thinker, which I love that he's got this humongous vision, but it's always about, oh gosh, how do we like bring this to fruition? Like, how are we going to execute, toward the vision? And so that little tiny bit of frustration was always there. But the grant kind of brought everything to a head. But we've just been working on it. We've been working on it. I feel like it's been a blessing for him and for me. And I do believe that we were brought together as two people with very different strengths, where sometimes it can be frustrating, but sometimes the end result is really great when we figure out how to kind of work through it. and then maximize this result that we're getting.
Yeah. You're making a really good point because, instead of say, oh, I have gotten the wrong job, this is terrible. You knew, hey, we can make some adjustments here because we need both lenses. We need both talents here. And I love how you're saying, yes, it was frustrating since he has that different lens. And for a while, it seems like we're not going to get anywhere,
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to me, that's that type 9 of type 9s can feel powerless over getting things done, whether it's somebody else is getting in the way, whether circumstances feeling like they're getting in the way. And what I heard was you were just so intentional about putting these questions together that you put aside that this is a different person. I'm just putting together what is going to bring success. So I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because we all are going to find obstacles, right? It's what we decide to do with it.
Mm-hmm. And there's always a way.
There's always a way. And that's what we love about our type 3s, because you all are so positive and just know, oh yeah, it's going to get done. I don't know how, but it's going to get done, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But no, you did say this wasn't an overnight process.
No, it does take time. It took time for us to kind of figure out, ooh, she's this way, he's this way, and again, there was never any doubt in my mind that we were brought together for a reason. And so same with him. He knew it. He always says, God sent you to me. And I said, and I'm thankful. And I'm just excited about what's coming. Yeah. I'm excited about what's coming. It's exciting for me to be around someone with such big vision and who's done so much for so many different communities. There's so much learning there. And I'm just excited that I'm able to learn and to help him at the same time.
Yeah. And so, of course, as your friend, I really love seeing that appreciation, because that's something you've been missing from your bosses in the corporate world. And, so much of that is their managers are giving them pressure. So then they're pressuring you. You've got somebody that has been in prison, correct?
Yes.
And so he knows what it's like to have been there. So he really knows what his the clients need, right?
He does. He was actually wrongfully in prison. We always say that he's like the Joseph. But God just really used that time to really give him the vision that he's executing on now. And he does this remarkable work that the organization is doing in developing people who are coming back to society, returning citizens, and courses and coaching and transportation and housing. So I'm just excited to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does feel like he's the heart behind this, of knowing exactly who he wants to serve. And you are kind of the vehicle, it feels like, that is going to deliver it to all these people, to make sure the most people are included in him bringing success to people that need a chance. They need somebody to reach out.
And people are just brilliant. They need the opportunity to really shine, and it's exciting to help that happen.
Mm-hmm. What's been one of your most satisfying moments in your new job?
Oh my gosh, I have to. Well, okay. So I'm working with him on getting a staffing agency together that's going to place many of the returning citizens in new careers. And I'm excited that we're ready finally to launch. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I was kind of looking at where we were, things were really disjointed. And we had to go into this phase again of like, okay, what do we do in the people realm, the process realm, the technology realm, like communication, all these. I had to frame it for myself so that we knew what we needed to do in each area. And that was very helpful to him as well. So, yeah, but very excited about the fact that we're ready to launch. So,
Yay. Yeah, yeah. There is a perseverance that's really needed because things aren't put in place for you like a corporation would be. But imagine, imagine the satisfaction is seeing, okay, this is going to be effective.
amen. Amen.
Yeah. So that's what I observed, that type 6 of being loyal to this cause and persevering through the obstacle of, wait, we're not getting it together. It's like, how do I get through to you? But you still persevered. It did not, it seemed big at first of what all you have to accomplish together and to, agree. But you persevered. I mean, that just tells me you know your purpose.
I just had to answer that question yesterday. Like, what's God been telling you your purpose? Yeah, but it's funny. The answer is like passing God's legacy on to the next generation. I heard that in a message, but the work we do is like a vehicle to do that. Like, so org transformation, leadership development, people development, it's a vehicle to do that, to be able to pass on God's legacy. So I'm learning. Oh my goodness, I'm learning.
I love that. Passing on the legacy, that's just going to create a ripple effect from those people that are being served, transitioning. They're going to then want to be that type help for someone else that's getting out of prison, right? Even though you're not seeing everyone that you're serving, just picture how, oh my goodness, more kindness is just going to keep expanding.
It's so funny you say that because just recently I had a little bit of a low moment thinking, okay, some of the things that I've been doing over the years, did they have an impact? But I feel like God has just done some really special things, and like old clients and old friends just popping in, right? Or, connecting and letting me know that what was said or what was taught, what was learned really made a difference. And so I feel that's like God saying, we got to keep doing what we're doing. I keep hearing, keep doing what you're doing, even though you don't always see the impact or feel the impact, but understand that the seed is planted. So that's exactly what you were talking about. There are ripple effects and we don't even know it. And we just have to trust that God is in the mix and doing it.
Yeah. And then, reach out to all these people you've helped in the past and tell them to be good fundraisers. Here's the financial need, and here's where you can help me.
Too funny. But we're going to be working on many things, and I'm going to be getting more and more involved. So I'm excited about that. We just got to see how God's going to do it all.
Yeah. Well, you're up for the challenge. Now that, it seemed like that first step was how to mix your talents together, how to work together.
Yes. And, sometimes we ask ourselves, because it gets real hard, we say, am I in the right place? Was I really meant to be here? But then again, God just tells us these things and reassures us like, yep, this is what I told you to do. and you just absolutely keep doing it and knowing that I've got it and it's going to be fine. And it also helped me, I have always liked to be in control of things. Yeah, and which is part of that. Okay, like, what are we going to do? But God has been working with me on that too, letting me understand that He's in control. And yes, the structural piece, the analytical piece, it absolutely has a place and a good place. But again, realizing that He's in control of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Right. That, He's really affirmed you in your talents. But being able to dictate where that happens is not always as fast as you would like it.
Absolutely. And not as fast as we would like. Doesn't often happen in the way that we would like, in the place that we would like. But then He continues to let you know, no, you're on the right path.
Yeah.
You're in the right journey.
The 9 just kind of gets this weariness and passiveness, and so it's a temptation, I'm sure, when things are not going fast enough to just go, I have no control whatsoever. But you're finding what you do have control over.
I'm laughing because on the way to church this morning, I was having this conversation with my husband, and I said, it's so easy to just go back in the old realm where I was, like the corporate space, the technical space.
For a type 9, it's hard for them to make changes because comfort is very important. Well, we don't change when we just want to stay in comfort and familiarity, right? That's just not a good place for you, because where I see you shine is challenges, having more freedom of choice, not having somebody else telling you what to do all the time.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And, again, back to our purpose, like being here, God wants us to be able to break out of our comfort zones, right? He on purpose puts us in places that are uncomfortable because a lot of the growth happens there. And I finally realized that. And so that helps in being willing to go forward and take those steps and move into that place of, I'm going to call it discomfort. It gets scary sometimes. I do think in the scary places, you fall back on God, and you also fall back on the gifts and talents that He gave you. And like the analytical piece, the structural piece, the order out of chaos piece to get through it all. But it represents an evolution, just an evolution.
What do you think is the next step for you to have peace?
I think it's knowing, so it's really having conversations, right? The conversation with God is ongoing. And then there's the conversation with the leader that on Friday I said, I really feel like I could do a lot more, because I feel like you help me see, I'm a big picture thinker, and you help me see a lot more of your big picture.
Okay.
And I just feel like I could use my kind of analytical nature and procedural process person to just make all these pieces go well. And he more or less said, well, it's funny you should say that, because I was thinking about that just the day before. So peace is knowing that there's places for me to grow, and the opportunity to grow could really be there. And just to be patient and to stay on the path. But that gives me peace, along with the little things God drops to let me know, like, it's okay, you're in the right place. Just hang in there. You're in the right place. Even though it's hard, you're in the right place.
Yeah. So that validation is really important. But I also heard you say it's going to be real important for me to collaborate with the leader. And I always tell type sixes that the place where they shine, the jobs that are great for them is when they're collaborating, because they like to be that reliable person, and really problem solve, be analytical towards the goal they're trying to accomplish, the problems they're trying to solve. So what I'm saying is, I think that a good next step is that six who wants to collaborate and not go totally on your own, right? But to really partner in that vision together.
I think that's actually my happy place.
Yeah.
By nature, I was an engineer, and a lot of times people see us as folks who go over in the corner and kind of do our thing. But I do need some of that time just to process, so that I can bring something to the collaboration table. So I need both of those spaces. Like when I'm collaborating, then anything I can collaborate with, my job, my work, my time, it all becomes exciting to me, because I really like to be with other people and to work with other people and come alongside other people. I think that's why business coaching and consulting has been so much fun, because you're always coming alongside of people. But I do need that time to process and to think through things, so that I can bring something to the table or to the next time the group comes together.
You told me you meet with your boss every week.
We do have that time that's set aside for us, where we talk a lot about what's going well, what's not going well, what's needed, what obstacles are there that have to be removed. And I've also learned to talk about really my feelings. I'm very transparent about that. I'm very transparent about that. I've learned that in all audiences, transparency is important for me. I've learned that there's some places that people don't like you to be transparent. They may say that they want you to be transparent, but not really. But I just feel like I'm in a place where I can be.
Oh,
and
yay!
That means a lot. That means a lot.
Yeah, because he does see your talent. And may we all seek those type of work situations.
It's funny you say that, because you knew me several years ago, and I was working for another entrepreneur where I was extremely transparent. Things weren't going well, and I was getting shut down and I was miserable. Unable to really collaborate in the way that I want to, unable to help with the vision. Oh my gosh.
That's another reason this has been a longer process than you probably would like. But I think it was real important for you to establish safety with this boss. Hey, I need to know it's okay to be transparent. I need to know it's okay that you appreciate what I bring to the table. And now that you are establishing that safety, now it's pretty predictable. I can come to these meetings and just to kind of lay out these processes.
Yep. And feel appreciated.
Yeah. Right. I mean, gosh, this is
and see the ball move forward. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot, but it's just exciting to see the ball move forward.
Yeah, I'm really glad we met at this time, because I don't think we would have had this same conversation 2 months ago.
This morning, I was sharing with my husband, just the whole path to getting where I am today. And I was looking at the events of the last 7 years, and it's just so amazing how God had me meet this person who had me meet that person who had me meet that person who had me go to that event where this person came up to me, and it's just amazing what God does.
Instead of the low master 3 goes, I made this happen, right? The low master 3 is, I did this, I created this, and you really should admire me. What I'm hearing from you is this high mastery of the 3. The 6 says, I'm humble. Ruth Bader
Ginsburg.
Thank you.
Ruth
Bader Ginsburg is a type 6, and you'll always hear her say that too. This person helped me get to where I am. She's one of the most famous people, but she will still be humble and saying how these people helped me get to where I am.
Yes, yes.
So that's what I hear from you, just a place of humility, which a lot of 6s are. They're more modest, and they could learn to brag on themselves more. But it's all a balancing act.
It is. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Mm-hmm. This has been good conversation. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was going to go.
I know. I've really enjoyed it.